get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa. But college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate forward to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, let that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tail jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate forward to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, let that fuse and run.
What is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It is Sunday. It is 11:30. We got 3 people on the panel. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Sunday Sessions, the real first episode with the 3 dudes that you see on your screen right now. Now, Scott and I, we took care of business last week. Ryan had to go to Cambodia to save some refugees and stuff like that. So we're going to let him slide. But we're going to do these introductions right now. To the south of me, Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports Podcast. What is up, Ryan?
What's going on, Swank? What's up, Scott? It's great to be here. Sunday Sessions. Let's do it.
3rd season. Can you believe it?
Third season.
Nutty, dude.
Wow.
Now, right over here to this side of me, my brother from another mother, even though he has a twin brother. Hey, buddy. Scooter Magooter. What's up, Scott?
Hey, guys. My cholesterol's come down. My heart rate's come down. It's time for week 2. Time to set stuff right. We cannot start 0-2.
What did they do for your cholesterol?
Last on Sunday, the K-Gun report, you asked me how I was, what's up? And I said my cholesterol, my blood pressure, my heart rate. So,
I got you. Yeah. That's a nursing joke.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We're stoked to be here. I'm glad, to be doing this, man. Our little half hour before kickoff. Get right, get you the inactives, all that stuff. We got some people coming in here slowly And, we'll be here until a little afternoon. So we did get the inactives in, boys. Did you see that yet?
Mm-mm.
All right.
I did. I just saw a couple of them.
All right. I'll read them off to you here. We got, unfortunately, probably the biggest name on this list, Damar Hamlin. Again, won't be suiting up. I know everybody's looking for that comeback player. Welcome home. People thought maybe this week was going to be it. It is not. All the shots they had of DeMar on the sideline last week, he seems happy. I don't think there's anything bad going on, so we're all good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good.
I think they're just taking their time with him and see what happens. It's got to be situationally, too, as far as that's concerned. I mean, Cam Lewis obviously been playing out of his mind preseason, and going into this regular season, we'll see what's up. Next on the list, Kaiir Elam. Ryan, are we ever going to see Kaiir Elam take the field this season or what?
This is a tough one because last week he was obviously inactive, as you just alluded to. And, I actually remember talking to you guys off the air about this with the whole Kaiir Elam experiment, former first-round pick, not that long ago, of course. And I just question whether he is a fit skill-wise compared to schematically for that Bills defense. And clearly it hasn't been a fit heading into this season, as Benford seems to have taken his job once again, at least early. Maybe this is a situation where they want to see what they have with some other guys, with Benford and others, and maybe we'll see Elam, next week. But 2 weeks in, no Kaiir Elam.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to fuel that media frenzy of the first round pick and the early draft pick thing with Bean and blah, blah, blah. I got 2 words for that. Josh Allen. Scooter, you got anything on Kaiir?
I think the secondary did a good job last week. So the fact that there's been no changes made there, I'm okay with that. But it is interesting to see 2 weeks in a row. Makes you wonder what his future looks like as a Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm. Benford running that guy down, man. DK Metcalf, who? Come on. That kind of effort. It was the highlight to me of like last week's game, to be honest. So
that's the kind of move that's going to keep you on the field.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
We got Kingsley Jonathan again, being a healthy scratch on the inactive. Then Germani Ifedi and Alec Anderson, a couple of offensive linemen. So not a lot of big surprises. Looks very similar to last week. So here we go, going into week 2, mostly healthy, looking good. I think the big topic for this week is going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen in this offense. Does Josh bounce back? RT, let us hear it. What are you thinking?
Well, just going off of what happened last week, obviously, just addressing that, I have watched that game a couple more times than I wanted to. Once was enough, but yeah. I had to go back, being that I'm in the role as the guy that I am, right, to check and see what happened. It looked like a game, honestly. The one thought that I could say, consensus that I can come to, is it was a game where Josh Allen felt like he had to do way more than what he actually had to do. And it goes to the pressure, being a quarterback of a team that is supposed to be very, very good in a winnable game, in a winning moment after Rodgers goes down. You think the Bills are going to take this. And then the script got flipped, of course. In the words of Arian Foster, the script was flipped. So in regards to this game with the Raiders, I think Josh just simply has to take what the defense gives him. It's an old cliche. It's a famous line that John Madden would say when you asked Madden, take what the defense gives you, use the weapons around you, take the safe plays, and don't always try to take the 40, 50-yard bomb. Even, if Stephon Diggs is in single coverage, that's another story. But if there's double coverage, triple coverage, just take the underneath route or, make the safe play. And I think Josh will do that today. I think this is a good opportunity in this game for him to do that.
I'd argue, because there's a lot of haters out there talking about Dorsey and his game planning. And I think on the K-Gun, I said, to me, it's 70% Josh, 30% Dorse. I think Dorsey did have him in a good spot. They were driving when they were adhering to his game plan. But I think it wasn't enough for Josh. I think Josh got to that point where he's like, we need a touchdown. And he was trying to be Superman when he didn't really have to be. I know that was an aggressive defense. I know they were coming at him, but he was running out of the pocket when he didn't like the pocket was there and he was running out of it. So
Right.
that's more of that hero ball stuff. Then you're going to hear that buzzy word. You've heard it for a week. You've heard it for his whole career. And I'll say, to me, that's the stuff you love about Josh. That's the stuff that you hate about Josh. That's the stuff you got to take. Like, you live and die with him. The majority of it, I'll remind everybody, 13-3 last year, playoffs, what, four straight seasons now, right? Like, in a row.
Yep.
We're nitpicking stuff. This is week one. Week one is a liar. We're going into this week, and I think you're going to see a much more composed, as your brother would say, Josh Allen. What do you think, Scooter? Scott, what do you got?
Scott, what do you got? I like that. I agree with both of you. We'll see this week if that conversation was had between Dorsey and Josh Allen. Chill out, man. Give what's taken. The plays are there. We saw in a couple of those interceptions, there was a lot of guys underneath that were wide open. So it may be a case of that, or the fact that this whole preseason thing, guys, where no one ever plays. The reason week one is always sloppy is because no one ever plays. Maybe teams should start getting back to that. But Josh, we said it last week. He had that deer in the headlights kind of look. Pay attention to his face this first quarter, see where he's at. It may be just having to knock that rust off, understanding that I gotta take what's given, and then we'll have a successful game. I got a lot on DraftKings relying on Josh getting his game on today.
I haven't done anything. You get that benefit going on this weekend. My mind has not been in that area, but I think I just put 20 on a bunch of like parlays last week, and none of them came true. I thought the Bills were just going to wash the Jets, and it just never happened.
Both weeks has been a 1.5 touchdown over and under for Josh, which is in my mind is disrespectful to Josh. He should be putting 3 up every game.
Hell yeah. Listen, I just wanted to hit the Las Vegas Raiders inactives real fast. I found that list. Aiden O'Connell, which he's got to be their third string quarterback, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Jacoby Myers, which we all knew of earlier in the week. He was in concussion protocol. You know what's funny? Right. I was thinking about this after we aired the K-Gun. We were talking about, obviously, last week's car wreck, but then going forward into this week, not one of us mentioned Davante Adams. Do you realize that? Like, which is crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's after like
deal.
When David Carr left, I just kind of forgot he was there. I think, or whatever. Like I don't know. So we could touch on him. He is active for today's game. Chris Smith, the second safety, he's inactive. Chandler Jones, another one who's inactive today. It's a big name, but we knew about that earlier in the week. Amari Burney, linebacker, and Nesta Jade Silvera. He's a defensive tackle, all inactive for the Raiders. So a couple big names, but no surprises again, as we knew that was going to happen earlier in the week. Let's talk a little bit about Davante Adams and see what are we expecting out of this offense from the Raiders. Go ahead, Scooter.
Another test for our safeties and our corners. I think the reason Benford is so successful is because we do play a lot of those bigger wide receivers, and he matches up better than I think Kyer Elam does with those guys. But Davante Adams is going to do Davante Adams things. He's a big, solid receiver. He can stretch the perimeter. He can do the quick routes as he did last week, 6 catches for 66 yards. So he only had 11-yard average. But I think once Garoppolo gets more comfortable with him, you'll see him stretching the field out a lot more, which Davante Adams can do. Freak catches. He's one of those guys that could do the toe drag swag and catch over the safety and under the corner. So he could be very dangerous. I have him on my fantasy team. I unfortunately have him scoring a touchdown today, but he's tough. You gotta take him serious. But it is nice that Jacoby Myers is out, takes that pressure off the other side of the field. But like we always say, don't take that for granted. These are still NFL players you have to play against.
Yeah, I think this game, from a schematic defense side of things, just got easier for the secondary with Jacoby Myers being out. I think there is no reason, and I don't want to go in with totality and making these like hard statements. There is absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be able to guard Davante Adams, double team him, or keep it high safety, or do whatever, help on that side. You have Hunter Renfrow, and then who? Hunter Renfrow even last year was a little underwhelming. So to me, the biggest focus is going to be on that run game with Josh Jacobs back there, especially after the couple that broke last week. And I think this defensive line wreaking havoc on old Mr. Glassbones Garoppolo back there. So, RT, what's your take on this offense coming in here to Buffalo?
Yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders. I still have to get used to that.
Yeah.
Swank, you mentioned that Devontae Adams, you know, he kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think Devontae Adams himself wants to forget that he's playing for the Raiders. The only reason that Devontae Adams went to the Raiders was because Derek Carr was there.
I said David Carr.
That whole situation is so odd. There was that meme that it's out there. The kids are aware of it, where there's an old guy wearing a plaid shirt, and then he gets a Christmas gift. He opens it, and it's the same plaid shirt. That's what happened with the Raiders by going with Derek Carr, to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I see no difference at all how in any way Jimmy Garoppolo is any better than Derek Carr. I can argue that he's actually worse for a few different reasons. But I look at this Raiders team. Obviously, Josh Jacobs, who should be getting paid as one of the highest paid running backs right now and is their best player easily. And that's the big focus for this Bills team. And I'm keeping my eyes on the middle of the field, whether it's run defense or pass defense. And Devontae Adams is a big weapon, no doubt about it. But there is a rookie tight end on this Raiders team as well that I got to watch for 4 years with the Fighting Irish, Michael Mayer, who is a versatile tight end. So I'm keeping my eyes on Devontae Adams as well as Mayer and Josh Jacobs. I think those are three key components. I know one thing that Jimmy Garoppolo can do well is he can find the tight end. That's why George Kittle had those Pro Bowl years when he was staying healthy year after year after year with the 49ers, of course. So keep our eyes out on that rookie tight end as well on the opposite side with the Raiders.
We don't want to fall into the situation we were in last week where we were just playing at that other team's game level. We got to be able to take advantage, get up on these guys, because you're playing yet another quarterback that knows how to manage the game enough to come out at the end. Garoppolo is not someone that's going to get 400 yards passing, 100 yards rushing. He's someone that will have minimal numbers, kind of like Zach Wilson did last week, and still find a way to win a game. So this can't be another one of those games.
Well, I think with him being kind of like that traditional pocket passer too, right, and game manager, this is an opportunity to see our defensive front actually do what they can do. We kind of talked about this whole scenario in the K-Gun last week, because a lot of people say, like, well, man, if Aaron Rodgers was healthy in the game, imagine what the score would have been, right? They would have ran it up on us. Would they have, though? Because, like, that D-line was getting at Aaron Rodgers in the first 4 plays. You know, like, there was no chill to their vibe whatsoever. Like, they were getting there. So,
and he had no movement.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Garoppolo really has no movement either.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really a mobile guy. So I agree with you guys. That's one of my first things that I envision when envisioning this game. Actually, when we looked at the schedule, I thought this could be a game that we see them get some sacks. You know, that this could be the start to that. Sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, 11:48 guys, keeping it real in the comments, keep them coming in. We're glad for you hanging out with us on Sunday Sessions, brought to you by the Buff FamBase Network, and as always, sponsored by 26shirts.com. Go over to 26 Shirts and see what's up with Del Reed and the gang. They got charitable t-shirt donations for every goddamn t-shirt you got. So go give them all your money. It's a great cause. Rolling into the last 10 minutes of the show here, I want to get on, obviously, our score predictions, our bold predictions, our X factors, all that. I'm thinking I want to hear from you guys in the comments too. Let's do it a little bit different. We'll go bold predictions all the way around, X factor all the way around, then we'll do our score predictions. So, Scooter Magooter, what is your X factor for today's game?
Maintaining Crosby. Chandler Jones is not playing, so I think we're okay. But Crosby's going to bring it. He always does. Jerry Tillery, another guy that our friend RT watched from Notre Dame for a long time. He can disrupt some stuff.
He can.
Yep. And then Texas Tech's Tyree Wilson. They drafted him this year for this possibility that Chandler Jones would give problems. So defensive line is going to cause problems for the Raiders. If our X factor, the offensive line doesn't take control of things. So that's going to be the big factor of the game is the trenches.
Ooh, I'm right there with you. What do you think, RT? What's your X factor?
I partially gave mine away, but I would say that middle of the field. I'll go X's and O's wise. I think this is the most important game of Bernard's career, middle linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. Last week was his first start, but this is the game where he's going to be targeted. There's no doubt about it in the passing game. That middle of the field area, Renfro is a key too. I think they do have weapons that cater to Jimmy Garoppolo's strengths. Devontae, obviously Meyer and Renfro. So mainly keeping that middle of the field, contained. And as well, if the Raiders utilize Josh Jacobs as early and as often as they usually do, and it's effective, it's a tough hill battle for any team, because that's what keeps Josh Allen off the field, wears down our defense, and forces our offense to have to play catch up. So shutting down the run game, shutting down the middle of the field is essential. And I think for our offense, I do see this as a game where Buffalo is going to have to be physical offensively. I did love some of the play calls that Ken Dorsey had last week, incorporating Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. I think that those two players today are the X factors of the game. If we can get that 12 personnel rolling like we were trying to last week, and I thought we had some success with that actually in the moments where we were winning the game, which was the majority of that game last week. We'll get to see that and enjoy it in front of the home. They'll be doing that in front of the home crowd today, and I expect to win. Nothing more than that, for sure.
Hell yeah. I'm also going defensive side of the ball. I know we've had a lot of offensive topics and struggles here, and everybody wants to hear X factor in the offensive side of the ball, but I really think this run D, that's what's got to shine today. And I agree. I think Bernard's got to step up a little bit. I didn't think he did absolutely horrible last week, especially coming off that injury, not getting a full training off season, like all that stuff. I wasn't completely disappointed by what I saw, but also I want to see it improve each week. I want to see him step up. Matt Milano, can we just say, is like a knife cutting through cheese into that backfield when he reads these gaps and he just smokes players. And it is, like, to me, one of the most exciting things to see on that defensive side of the ball. That dude is a maniac. And if we can just get that other linebacker to kind of match that intensity, ooh, I'll feel so good about it. So yeah, I want to see that run D come in, stop a little Jacobs from being productive at all. Let's not give up these huge run plays down the field, take a bunch of time and deflate the balloon at high mark by letting these guys chunk off big yard plays for runs. Bold prediction. What is your bold prediction for today, RT?
Bold prediction that Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid each have a touchdown.
Ooh,
I honestly, I think that they're going to have to out physical that defense and put some size on them. And I think that could be effective against this defense, because they are limited at linebacker. And I think they're limited in their secondary too, from what I've seen these last couple of years. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about Kincaid's game from last week? I mean, it seems like that's gotten glossed over because of the Josh Allen narrative, right? But like, I thought that he did what we want him to do when he got his opportunities, right?
I thought he did too. And what I love about him is, as soon as the ball is in his hands, there's always more yards from beyond the catch. He's always able to find yards after catch. And he has these little quirks with his body that he does as soon as he catches the ball that you blink and you miss it. I mean, his ability, as soon as the ball is in his hands, to create space and to get additional yards is really great. It's rare for somebody of his size to move like that. And as well, I thought that the mixing of both him and Knox on the field, using Knox almost as a disguise to Kincaid and vice versa, was really interesting. And I want to see more of that. I was fascinated by that. That's what they've been dialing up all training camp long. That's like the underbelly buzz of the media that, hey, they're going to run 12 personnel more than anybody. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's make it happen.
That was a point that I made on the K-Gun as well, where I was like, I hope that the first throw when they're in 12 personnel is to Knox and to just smoke screen them away. And Knox got a couple really great catches and bowled over a couple dudes after he did it. So if you all this hype towards Kincaid and then you got Knox on the other side, like, hey, don't forget about me. You got to cover me too. Make sure I'm good.
Nope.
So Scooter.
Yeah, he's a very good player as well. They're both talented for sure.
Yeah.
Kincaid caught 100% of his passes. He made the most out of it. So Josh is definitely going to go there again. And I like that 2 touchdowns. That puts Josh over that 1.5.
There you go.
I'm taking the 1.5. I mean, I've been lucky this month. I put a bet on Sean Strickland at plus 490 and cashed that in the other day. So that UFC talk here, of course, for those that don't know, but definitely hit up DraftKings when you guys get the chance. Bet that 1.5 over for Joshy boy.
Hell yeah. This big bounce back. I can feel it. Scooter, what do you got for a bold, my buddy?
My bold prediction is the second half of my bet on DraftKings. Josh over 300 yards. I think that right now they got him at 255. And again, that's a slap in the face. He can easily do these numbers week in and week out. 300 for Josh. Just do it, bud.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love it.
And we'll look through the Twitter from last week. Like those tweets will age like cheese. I mean, some of these tweets, as far as some of these tweets against Josh Allen, it was a bad game. I went out and said that it was probably the worst start he's had since his rookie year. There's no debating that. But you move forward. It's a week-to-week league. That was week 1. That's not the AFC divisional round or the AFC championship game. Pump the brakes here, and we're on to this week, and next week we'll be on the next week, and there's plenty of football to be had.
Lots of football.
Lots and lots. Yeah, age like cheese. Yeah, for sure. Cheese in the sun. Yeah. For me, my bold prediction, God, I think this offensive line caught a lot of flack last week for what I think is the best defense in football of the New Jersey Jets. I think you are going to see the improvements on this side of the trenches, and I think that O-line is going to keep Josh Allen clean all game. I don't see any sacks. I think Max is going to be handled. I think there's too much pride and some misnomers about us not upgrading that offensive line. I'll say it every week. You didn't hear Torrance's name a lot. I think he got blew up one play.
Yep.
You know,
he was great.
A hell of a start for a rookie in his first primetime game, week 1 NFL debut. Like, ridiculous.
Against Quinnen Williams.
Yeah. Arguably one of the best defensive linemen in football. Spencer Brown, you know, I think he got blown up at least once, maybe twice. I think he got a little bit more flack just because he's got a history of us giving him flack, and it's kind of like the same old Spencer Brown. I think his play is elevated as proof of this last week too. And Deion got blew up, but Deion is Deion. He's an anchor. I think you're going to see these guys meld a lot more, and yeah, keep him clean this week. And as long as Josh will stand in there and let him keep him clean as well.
That's the other half of it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Don't buckle under the assumed pressure. I know the difference is that being a right-handed quarterback, and then your weakest link, obviously, right now is your right tackle. So it's a lot different when someone's coming from your blind side because you can't see it. You could feel the pressure. But when someone's right in your face as a right-handed quarterback and you see him get beat right away, you're going to be antsy.
Yeah.
And even if you have perfect protection the next play, that's still in your mind. Move. That clock, right. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi is a lot faster. 1, 2, 3, go. So,
and then he has to turn to the left and throw off of his back foot. You know, he's a right-handed quarterback. He's got to turn his back to, and he does it. I mean, because he can. But if it was anybody else, they wouldn't be making that play. And those are the plays that people take for granted with Josh Allen for sure. Yeah. Some, not all, but some.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Here we are, 11:59. We're getting ready for kickoff here. We got 1 hour and 1 minute. Let's go score predictions. Get down to the nitty-gritty of it. Let me hear it in the comments. Again, we're part of the Buff FamBase Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. And, go check out everything on the FamBase. Ryan Thomas is on the FamBase Network, in case you didn't know. Brother from
Wednesday nights at 8.
Hell yeah, Wednesday nights at 8. Dude, that's like an NBC calling. Wednesday nights at 8.
That's a hot hour right there. Huh?
It is.
Going up against Survivor, bro.
The hot take hour. Yeah, Survivor's got nothing on me, man.
That's absolutely right.
That's old news. Old news.
All right, RT. Great to have you back, buddy. Why don't we start with your
Yes.
score prediction?
Good to be back. Yes, of course. I have the Bills winning this one 31-14. That's the score that I have in my head. I think the offense gets it right. I think the best chance that the Raiders have is in that first half to wear us down heading into the second half. So that's what I expect from the Raiders, at least offensively. Their game plan, get to Jacobs early and try to wear down our defense. But I think our defense is actually going to be ready for this test. And I loved what I actually saw from the Bills defensive line that did get to Aaron Rodgers in the limited action that he saw, and did get to Zach Wilson as well, as the Jets kind of just turned to, let's get the ball to Brees. Let's wear down the defense with Dalvin Cook. I think the defense is going to be up to speed on that. And we're going to be able to neutralize Jacobs. I'm not afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo at all. So I think that this is going to be a win, and the Bills will right the ship at home 31-14. That's my final score.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That doesn't happen on this show.
Yes, it does, baby. It's 12:01. We're in overtime.
Love it. Love it.
All right, Scooter. What's your overtime score prediction?
I was a bit skeptical with the 40-20 that I made on the K-Gun report, but then after seeing the injury of the concussion of Jacoby Myers and then Chandler Jones definitely not coming back, I'm going to stick to that. I know it's Sunday sessions. We're an hour before our show or the show time, and sometimes things get mixed up a little bit, but I'm all for the 40-20. Josh Allen tearing it up, defense showing up, and we're playing in front of the Bills Mafia. So bada bing, bada boom. Blowout.
I like it. Doesn't feel like a homer blowout, just feels like a really solid Bills fan. Well, yeah, homer blowout. Yeah, it's good.
Well, I do want to throw this out there too, Swank. The 12th Man Mafia Misfits Manor is up and running.
Yeah.
So the super fans are going to be rowdy as hell. They invite the Raiders fans out there. They have a good old time. They're going to party, but the Bills Mafia is going to show up. We hate losing that first week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be, you can guarantee it's going to be loud.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't even remember what my score prediction was for the K-Gun. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But I think I was
35-13 is something like that.
They see, and that's where I was leaning. So that maybe that's just my default score prediction in case, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go with that 35-13. I'd like to see these guys hold the Raiders to one touchdown. I believe that they can do that. A couple field goals, fine. But you're going to see Josh do Josh things today. I think you're going to see Mr. Kincaid get some action. And, the one play, and I brought it up on the K-Gun too, Dorsey drew up that beautiful, beautiful play to Gabe Davis last week, and it got washed away. But the design of that play, the unintentional pick that was set up by Stephon Diggs, the perfect execution, that is the kind of stuff that's going to get you those deep yard kind of gains that Josh Allen is looking for. But that's part of, say it all together, trusting the process and letting it happen in front of you. So I think maybe you're going to see a little bit more of that kind of thing, but maybe with the young Kincaid, maybe a little Knox getting shoulder in there. So I'm saying 35-13, Buffalo Bills right the ship, home opener win. Boom, baby. Boom.
Boom, baby. I got an over and under for you guys.
We got
one screen pass.
One
Over
to the running back. Not a tight end
over.
screen, not a wide receiver.
Not just
over.
Not just a pass out of the back, like to a running back in the back.
Right. It can't be a swing pass. It can't be a pass in the flats. It's got to be a legit. The line lets the guys through, and James Cook.
You going over on it, RT?
I'm going over.
I think I'm going under. I'm gonna stick with history.
I was gonna say Swank's going with history. Ryan's going with
optimism.
Yeah, I love it. I want to see it.
You have to get James Cook in space.
I hope I lose.
Have to.
You absolutely have to. Look at that.
Yes.
Again, there's a list of offensive players that we were hoping. This guy. Cook is on that list. Kincaid is on that list. Gabe Davis is on that list. And Gabe, whatever, that interception thrown out, I don't know. Is that Gabe's fault? I don't.
Miscommunication.
Yeah,
there.
I don't know.
I think, yeah.
But if you're just going with those two dudes, James Cook showed out and showed you exactly what he's made of. They did not get him the proper opportunity to completely utilize his skill set. Kincaid,
12 carries. 12 carries. It's not enough.
No.
It's just not.
No. And you're going to, why are you going to Murray? Like the whole, I mean, I love it. I love him. I love the dynamic of our backfield right now. But why are they each playing quarters? Get James Cook out there. The dude is young. He can carry. He can run. He can do. Mix him in. These guys should be spelling James Cook, or they should be situational. It shouldn't be a whole quarter of Harris, or a whole quarter of Murray. It should be James Cook featuring Harris and Murray.
Yeah, and honestly, just touching on that, that's the one thing that I actually did get frustrated over offensively was not when they did use Cook. I didn't feel like they used him in an effective, in as an effective way as they could, where they're running him up the middle to get hit by Quentin Williams, where they should be running away from Quentin Williams. Essentially, they should be running stretch runs, counter runs, not dives. And you should be running dives and slams with Murray and Harris, not with James Cook. And that's I think against any opponent, James Cook can do anything. But we weren't playing any opponent last week, as you said, Swank. That is one of the best, if not the best, defense in the NFL. Props to the New Jersey Jets, the Gotham City Football Club, which is another dumb nickname for the New York Jets.
It
doesn't make any sense.
Especially with a guy like James Cook. It's all about, the NFL is a game of inches. It's all about setup. So even if that screenplay, even if that draw, that stretch handoff that I can't stand, they should take right out of the playbook. Even if you run it once, the defense now has to respect it. So you got to be able to set up plays to where you could be successful. And this is this whole conversation with, you got to set, the coaches have to set their players up for success. So I'm going over. I'll go over with that one.
All right.
Welcome to the club.
I think Jerry put a beer bet on it. So
yeah, let's do a beer bet.
I like a beer bet. I love it.
I'll send the Venmo if
sounds good to me.
Wrong.
All right. So it's got to be 2 screens for us to win there, Ryan.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm still going. I'll be comfortable if it was 0. I'd be comfortable.
in a justifiable world,
it doesn't matter.
In a justifiable world, we'd be getting free beers every week.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. If the world was fair.
A lot of people don't understand, Swank, and I know you mentioned this before. Feed James Cook the ball. James Cook didn't get a lot of carries for Georgia. He made the most out of what he got. He's not worn out a tired running back coming from a heavy responsibility to college. His opponent, the second string running back for Oakland right now, Zamir White, is actually the starter that played for Georgia when he did. And but again, James Cook, feed him. He's healthy.
Feed him.
He's beyond healthy for a running back in the NFL.
And he's hungry.
Give him the ball.
He's hungry. He wants it.
He is.
So, all right, kids, here we go. It's 12:08. It's time to get ready on our end for our game day traditions. We want to thank you guys so much for hanging out for Sunday sessions. RT, why don't you hit them with a final thought and where they can find you on socials?
Final thought, it is great to be back on Sunday sessions. Unfortunately, I missed last week, but I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be back from here on out the rest of this 2023-2024 Buffalo Bills Super Bowl winning season. I'll throw that in there. Just that little nugget. You guys tuning into this show. I appreciate you guys tuning in, of course, to this show. You guys can tune into these guys. K-Gun Report Tuesdays, Buffalo FamBase. You can watch me compete against Jeff Probst Survivor Wednesday nights at 8. Don't watch Survivor. That show's been on far too long.
With the
fictional.
With the host name poll, dude.
You want a real reality show on all things football? Tune in to the Thomas Tick Sports Podcast Wednesday nights at 8. Buffalo FamBase Network, hosted by Ryan Thomas, and I very well might have a guest on the show this week.
Ooh, nice. That's right. The smoothest voice in the FamBase, Mr. RT. We got Scooter Magooter with his final thought. Go ahead, buddy.
It's the last time you could say it. It was only week 1. So with that, there's a lot of expectations for our Buffalo Bills. The fans are ready for it, Buffalo. Show up, show out. You have to. You're at home. It's a big stage, maybe bigger stage than that Monday Night Football game because it's for real. You can't go 0-2 now. You cannot go 0-2. It's a 1 o'clock Sunday game that we all love. drink responsibly, have a good time, cheer loud at home, cheer louder at the Bills game for sure at the Highmark Stadium. Love you guys. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. Kiddos,
Hell yeah.
it's week 2, home opener. So stoked. Get in your spot. Get ready. I found out I'm going to the Miami game. I'm excited about that. The one
In
up
Miami
here. No,
or
the
in
one up
Orchard
here.
Park?
It's up here. Yeah. The one up here.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's a week
That's
before my
still-
40th birthday.
That's better.
Yeah. Enjoy these games, man. This team has never been better than what it has been these last couple years. I say at the end of every single show, man, if you were alive during the drought or conscious enough to be during the drought, you would just pray for this kind of team to come in and give you something to cheer about. So you have that right now. We always have a chance to win with Josh Allen. We always have a chance to win with Sean McDermott. We got the players. They're going to put it together. Cheer loud and proud. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Scott just decided to leave, so I'll give his Go Bills. This is my impersonation of Scott saying Go Bills. Go Bills. Go Bills. Go Bills. Go Bills.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
Yes.